were so many bright colors a second ago.
All right. Hi, Instagram. We got Instagram up here and Facebook down here.
There's comments.
Yeah, I got them here too.
Do you want to get smaller? So you can see here.
All right.
Are you guys ready?
We got a cool guest here for you.
So welcome to Sunset Wildlife Connection. My name is Margaret.
I'm Marissa.
And we are the co-founders of Sunset Wildlife Connection. We are a nonprofit located in Pensacola, Florida. We are an exotic animal rescue and animal outreach program. We are dedicated to animal education and wildlife conservation. Here we have Leroy.
Good job.
He is one of our newer animals. We got him in September. He is a rehome from Texas. He's a veiled chameleon. He is a male chameleon. Males and females are different. He's being so good for you guys.
Yeah, we definitely, so he's, like we said, he's very new, so this is very new to him, so we want to make sure this is super positive. And the fact that he's eating and really tolerating this is great. Ow, one bit me.
These are super worms we're feeding him. They are dusted with calcium, something that's pretty normal if you're a reptile keeper or a reptile owner. You know, probably all about calcium and dusting. Something that they would naturally get in their environments, but because we are in a captive situation, obviously he doesn't get the natural bugs that he would get or the natural sands and things like that he normally lives on. So we dust his worms for him. He is an insectivore, though he is an omnivore, and he will eat all kinds of different plants. He loves his hibiscus tree. I have to like pull it out so he doesn't eat the whole thing.
Veiled chameleons can live to be females only about 5 years and males about 8 years. Do we know his gender?
Yes, he's a male. You can tell the difference, one, because his helmet is larger than a female. A female's isn't even going to get as big as this, and his is going to get larger. He's only about 1.5 years, so they get to be pretty big. And a female's would already be an adult female, like max would reach that size of a helmet, but even that, it wouldn't get that big. And his colors are different. The females don't really have stripes. The females are a little bit more dull. And then when they go into being gravid, which gravid means that she has eggs inside of her and she's waiting to lay. So a gravid female is going to have kind of like brighter colors. And chameleons actually don't really, like the movies show it, like in Tangled and stuff, when like the little chameleon like lands on like Tangled and he changes color and stuff. Like that doesn't happen. They actually do change color, but not in that way.
More so for like their stressors and things like that.
Yeah, so they'll change day and night, and then they also will change in like a more stressful situation. So right now he's kind of like half flared. Sometimes he will get a little bit brighter if he's really uncomfortable with the situation, but if he's just like normal daytime in his house, then he is a little bit more dull colored. You can see he's got some pretty teals and greens and stuff in there. And they do that for a defense mechanism. So kind of like dart frogs, when they're poisonous, they are bright colors, and it's a warning to animals that I'm poisonous. Even though these guys aren't poisonous, they like to trick their predators into thinking that they are. And they'll puff up really big, and they'll get like a big chin. There is a picture of him on our Facebook, and he's got like this big chin and big puffy, and they'll get really big so that they look really big and scary, and he'll kind of give you like a little hiss and stuff. But that's kind of all their defense mechanisms are, is lots of the color changing.
They also use a lot of that for breeding. So I kind of like a male human. They puff up to try to act big and bad, and at the same time, when they're trying to attract a mate, they're going to puff up, act big and bad, put on their pretty colors, and be like, hey, I'm pretty.
Strutting out at the bar.
Very similar ideas there. So yeah, they do that same thing for defense and for mating purposes.
Mm-hmm. And they are, again, we talked about them being what we call sexually dimorphic. And that means that the males and females are different. So if you think about just like, you know, some of our domestic animals like dogs and cats, they come in different colors, but that doesn't depend on if they're male or female. But because he's got the larger helmet, he's got the stripes, he is a sexually dimorphic animal. And they have really cool feet too. So I know we talked about the bird before, and I think you even talked about the zygodactyl feet, which is what he has as well. And it makes sense. This is an arboreal species of animal, meaning that they live up in the trees. So he's going to use those zygodactyl feet. I don't know if you guys can see them pretty well. I'm going to go up here a little bit. So you guys can see his feet pretty good. And down here on Facebook, see his little feet. So that's called a zygodactyl feet, and you can see him using it to grip onto my fingers. And they use that, again, because they live up in the trees. They're arboreal.
And of course, these guys are known, I'm sure everybody thinks of a chameleon, and they think of their eyes. They are moving in their own singular direction. He's
looking at both me and Marissa at the same time.
He can look forward and backward at the same time. This helps him with hunting, with a defense, knowing where any of his predators may be.
Whether they're from the sky or from the ground, he can look at both at the exact same time.
And then with hunting, I mean, he's hunting these little tiny worms, crickets, things like that move fairly quickly, and he's able to keep an eye or both eyes on them and be able to strike with that nice long tongue. Do you know how long their tongues are?
So I'm not positive how long they can grow to be necessarily, but his definitely, I mean, you guys saw it, comes out at least,
4 inches.
Yeah.
4 to 6 inches.
More, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Something I need to look up. Getting back into the groove of everything. This guy came in when I was still out on maternity leave, so we're just getting acquainted. This is only my second or third time now getting to meet him, interact with him, and he's doing so fabulous. Margaret and Tommy have done fabulous working with him. These guys are not loving animals. They're not like a cat or a dog that wants that touch and wants to be petted. This is a very hands-off animal. So if you have this animal as a pet, it's going to be hands-off. So I would never recommend this to someone who has like a child or someone who wants something that's going to show love and affection.
I would even recommend a bearded dragon before I would recommend these guys, because even I don't touch him. So he is, when he comes out on our encounters, he is a zero-touch animal, and our wildlife specialists are the only ones that handle them. Sometimes during our encounters, we'll have, if it's a small crowd, people can hold the snakes. You can even hold some of the other lizards, but not him. He is a little bit more of a specialized animal. And again, never touch. I don't even pet him. The only time that they are touched in the wild is if they're about to be eaten. So it's really like they are non-touch species.
Just a good, fun thing to look at. They are husbandry-wise, care-wise, they are pretty touchy. They require a certain texture of their enclosure. They don't do well with glass. They have a very strict humidity that you have to watch very closely. These guys can get sick very, very easily. So if this was a pet, you need to do your research. And I, again, would not even recommend one to someone who's never owned reptiles, even someone who's only owned beginner reptiles. They are pretty hard, I personally think.
And if you're on Facebook, there are lots of really good groups out there for not only reptile care, but there is actually a specific veiled chameleon group. I am a part of that group. I believe Marissa is a part of that group. If you are interested in a chameleon, or if you have a veiled chameleon, you guys can join that group, and there are like files up in the group where you can read all about everything that you need. There's links to everything that you need. Everything from the lighting to the cages, feeding recommendations, vitamin recommendations, everything. It is the entire care package. And but like Marissa said, it is a very intense process, and some people will get chameleons because they're cute and little, and you can buy them at PetSmart for like $40.
And they're tiny when they're babies. They come out like little teeny tiny miniature chameleons. It's super cute.
And they have lots of eggs. The females lay sometimes up to like 70 eggs.
I even read all the way up to 90. It's
yeah,
crazy.
That's insane. That's a lot of eggs, and that's why the females sometimes it can be very difficult to house females because of that reason. They can get egg bound very easily, and then you have to be next to an exotic vet. All those things, especially when it comes to care of an exotic animal. This is definitely an animal that, like Marissa said, I would not recommend for your first reptile ever. I would always recommend something like a crested gecko or a bearded dragon or something like that. Of course, those animals take care as well, but these are very finicky animals, and they're very like non-touch, non-cuddle.
I can't stop staring at them though, so hey.
They're awesome animals. They really are. You guys saw them eating.
Cool.
Like, they are really cool.
Yeah,
no, you're okay. That's good. And
well, you know what? Man. I think Leroy did really awesome, and we're going to go ahead and end his session before he starts to get stressed out, because I say this is really fabulous for him. We were kind of going back and forth seeing how he was going to do, and I felt that he was going to do, we felt he was going to do really well, and he has, so we're going to go ahead and end on a good note with him. I'm going to have Margaret put him away. Like we said, he is touched by pretty much only Margaret at this point in time.
I do have one request.
What's that?
From our wildlife specialist, Tommy. Yeah. So he really, really likes the name, wants to change the name to Christian Vale. I told him that if we got a really good response on Christian Vale, that we would change his name. So we will post on our Instagram as well and do a poll, but you guys can leave it in the comments as well if you like the name Christian Vale, and if we get enough people, then I told Tommy that we will change the name.
Or if you guys have a better name.
If you have a better name than Christian Vale, please, definitely. All right, guys, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, Leroy or Christian. Leroy. All right, while she's doing that, I'm back, guys, not in full form currently. I did have Jett. He is going to be 8 weeks old tomorrow. He's a big boy. It's been an adventure, first time mom, and learning how to be a mom, and him and I learning life together has been a lot. But I'm trying to figure out a good schedule, get us going, coming over here, seeing the animals, getting him used to it. However, as far as like him going out, still we're keeping it very small, very few people. We live in times that we just don't want to expose him to things. But he's here and he's sleeping with Dad, so he's being really awesome. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get out and see all spaces soon. Get out and do some vending events. I've been working really hard on some new merchandise type deal. I've got some koozies done, and I've got some really
cute too.
Cool jewelry keychains that I'm starting to make out of some shed of our reptiles. That I'm hoping turn out really good. As soon as we have some stuff made, I'm sure we'll post some stuff and get that out there. But enough about me. Let's get out some of our critters over here.
So these guys are also rescue rehomes. Thank you. We have our guinea pigs. Isn't he so cute? So we have Pinky and Brain here, you guys.
For our 90s babies.
Yeah, our 90s cartoons.
Yes.
So these guys are guinea pigs. We have two different kinds of guinea pigs here. Brain here is an American guinea pig, and then we have an Abyssinian guinea pig over here. So you can see that Pinky over there has kind of like a more like mohawky
Yeah,
style,
fun hair.
fluffy. Yeah, such your brother.
Bill says, I like your hair. Don't bite this. Rude.
So these guys came to us as animal rehomes. Their mom follows us. I don't know if she's watching, but your boys say hello. She is in the military, and she was moving from the military and could not take them with her. So we got them, and she gave us all of their stuff, and they have a nice big house. Instagram might be able to see it a little bit behind us there. But these guys are really cute. They are a part of our mini petting zoo, our mini pop-up petting zoo experience. These guys are very pet friendly, unlike Leroy, who is the opposite. These guys you can handle, you can hold. We have little kids hold on, pet them. They're really friendly and cute. They love to be outside. They love the mini pop-up petting zoo because they get to kind of like run around and eat grass and clovers and all kinds of fun stuff out there.
Yep, you can find them in the petting zoo with our lionhead rabbit, Rocky, as well as both of our tortoises. And like she was saying, you can come in, pet them, you can sit down, pick them up, put them in your lap, all that kind of stuff that comes with the petting zoo experience, along with, I think, how many animals we're doing per touch with that one?
So it comes with 2 to 3, depending on like if we're doing a vending experience or versus like if you're paying, you'll get 3. Otherwise, we'll only bring about 2 other ones for like a vending experience.
Perfect. Yeah. So these guys are actually at cavies or cavies. I never say it properly. I don't know which one's actually proper, but it doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato.
Yep.
Cavies. Which are out of South America, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, these guys have been domesticated for thousands of years, and there are actually none of them wild anymore. They're all domesticated. Like Margaret was saying, there are different kinds as far as like their coloring, their hair, sizes, things like that. But yeah, there are none of them in the wild. They're also related to the capybara, yes.
The largest rodent in the world.
They
Maybe
look
we
like
learned capybaras.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's necessary.
They are water animals, but these guys aren't really water.
Semi-aquatic animals.
Yeah, these guys don't really do the water, not like the capybaras do, but these guys are from South America, and like Marissa said, they were domesticated by the Incas.
Incas, yes.
Mm-hmm, years ago for food.
and they are still food in that same area.
They're kind of like giant potatoes. Look at that.
He's
a bum.
You're a big potato.
He's not a big potato. They're little like running around little potatoes.
So these guys are rodents. They do have teeth like, say, a rat or
nibbling right now.
No,
their teeth are constantly growing.
These guys' teeth are actually white compared to most other rodents that you're going to see. When you see their teeth, they're going to be like a bright yellow color. These guys' teeth are actually pretty white, and they should remain white. Of all rodents, that's not typical. So I thought that was kind of a cool fact about them.
They are herd animals. They do live in large herds out in the wild. I mean, here in like captivity and stuff, we keep males and females separated because, again, they are rodents. So you will have lots and what?
What's a herd of guinea pigs called?
A herd of guinea pigs.
A group of guinea pigs.
Is it called a group?
I don't know.
I think it's called a herd because the males are called boars, and then the females are called sows. But then I'm almost positive it's a herd of guinea pigs, and then please correct me, somebody, if I am wrong.
I like to put Margaret on the spot.
Yeah, and then I do know the babies are called pups.
Okay.
But they're not related to pigs, like we said, even though they're called boars and sows. Right. They are rodents.
But like Margaret was getting into, they are rodents, and they will breed and continue to breed and continue to breed and continue to breed. We have 2 males, so we will not have that problem. However, males don't always get along. We've seen it firsthand with trying to do 2 males, 2 females. They might not get along, and that's definitely something that you need to consider if you are purchasing them. Like we were saying, male and female, you're going to get tons and tons of babies, so we don't recommend that at all. But also, even getting 2 males and 2 females, it is possible that they will not get along, and you need to have a backup plan for that sort of situation. we got a bonded pair, and they work fabulously together. They live together great. They do all of their encounters, and we have no issues. But it's not always that easy. You guys are easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy being so cute.
I know. They are herbivores, so they only eat veggies. They are vegans, no dairy, no meat, nothing like that. They eat lots of grasses. They get hay every single day. They always have hay in their enclosure. Again, they love being outside. They love the grass and the clovers and all those fun things. They do get vegetables and a big salad every day. And they also get pellets. And it's really important to make sure that you research dieting if you are going to get a guinea pig, because they actually need vitamin C. Like specifically, like you can't just go get them like, you know, hamster or rabbit food. It has to be a specific diet for guinea pigs so that they get that vitamin C.
These guys do make a fun noise.
Let's see if we can get them to do it. He's got one little spot that he when you scratch him real good, you can get that real good spot. Beep, 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 beep. But they love the sound of crinkling. They love that sound. In the morning when I go to feed them, you do the crinkling. It's wee, it's like an alarm went off.
They're obviously well fed.
They do get lots of exercise, but they, yes, are very well fed.
And their teeth, like she was saying, are continuously growing, so you need to offer things in their enclosure that they can chew on that help them wear that down. You do not want those to get overgrown. You run into a lot of issues there. Same with their nails. You got to cut their nails just like we cut our nails. We cut our cat's nails. We cut our dog's nails. Pretty much all of our animals that we have that are mammals, we have to cut their nails. Even some of our reptiles. We have to focus on that part of their husbandry. So if you're not comfortable doing something like that, you need to think about those sort of things.
Or like for our bearded dragons, I have different tiles and rocks in there so that when they are running around their enclosure, they wear them down themselves. So it is something that you either have to clip or you have to make sure that you have something in there that they can actually wear their nails down with.
You're so chill.
You are not. You are crazy.
These guys love meeting you guys, and they would love for you guys to book them for your next party. He told me.
All right, well, say bye. Say bye, Brain. Ah, it's gonna get you. I can put it back.
Oh.
Whoa.
Guys, pregnancy brain is real. It's very real. Now Margaret's gonna grab our next guest. As she grabs her, she's gonna talk a little bit about what we've got coming up. We've got some big stuff coming up. I know Margaret's mentioned in our last, couple lives ago that they did purchase some property. She's got some updates on that coming. And here comes our next guest.
This is Xerxe. She's our king snake. We wanted to have her on our last live stream, but she was shedding. So we had to wait for her to shed, and then she had to wait to eat, and then after she, digested some of her food, now we're able to handle her again. So this is her first time meeting you guys on the live stream. She has gone to an encounter, so she is good for encounters as well. Like I said, she is a king snake. She is specifically a speckled king snake. So these guys are...
Speckled is the most common, yes? No?
It's also called the common. I'm not positive if they are the most common, but she's also the common king snake. Okay. So you could either find the common king snake or the speckled king snake. Gotcha. Obviously she gets the speckled from her from her scales. I was like, that was our last one, not this one. So her scales are speckled. But in the wild, these guys live in the forests. So if you were trucking along in the forest and she's on the forest floor, that is a pretty good camouflage, if you guys can see that. I mean, I would not be able to see that. Looks just like the forest floor to me. Like you would blend right in some leaves, and you would never know she was there unless she was moving or something. So that they use it for camouflage. But these guys are actually known for being king snakes because they actually eat other snakes. So they are the king of the snakes. And a really cool fact, probably my favorite fact about these guys, is that they also eat venomous snakes. So they eat things like rattlesnakes and even like baby cottonmouths and stuff. They are immune to their venom. So again, that is why they are called the king snake. They also eat rodents and toads and everything else that anything else would eat. But, you know, snakes are really important for our environment. And specifically, these snakes are really important because, number one, do they help with rodent control and other pest control like frogs and toads and things like that. They also help us with our venomous snake population because not a lot of other animals can eat venomous snakes. So to have these guys is super great. They are, again, maybe they're also called the common because they are in a lot of the area of the United States. Not quite down here, like it would be rare if you found one here in North Florida. But they live in like the Carolinas. They live all the way out through like Louisiana, Mississippi, like northern Alabama. That kind of an area. I think like once we get down here into like South Alabama and South Florida, they don't really live out here. We start getting different kinds of king snakes and stuff out here. King snakes, there's lots of different species.
There's a lot.
Lots of different species of king snakes. But particularly, I think, there is one here in Florida, but I can't think of the name of it. I know that's it.
Is it milk snake? No, that's...
The milk snake is, they're related to milk snakes.
It's the same.
Yeah, milk snakes, that's also what the corn, or...
It's a,
I know, I can't think of it either.
bow.
Yes, well, bows are a rat snake. But they're all part of the same family,
right,
because you have, like, boas and pythons, and then you have venomous, and then you have all of the other kinds. So then you have, like, gardener snakes, and you have, that's the bunny playing, playing with his toys. All the different noises and animals. She's doing really well, though. Don't even think that she's been in this room, if I'm being honest. I had her in here about 20 minutes before our live stream so that she could get used to the smells and stuff. Again, I haven't even handled her much lately because she had been shedding and eating. So, again, we don't want to handle them when they're shedding or eating because we want them to focus on those things. So when she's shedding, we leave her alone. I'll mist her enclosure and change her water because she likes to go in her water a lot. So I will change her water and stuff and mist her. I won't touch her. I won't feed her. I will let her shed. And then once she is done shedding, she eats. And then again, we don't touch for about, I usually wait 48 hours. I've heard other people waiting 24. I've even, handled a snake after 24, but I always just give them that a little bit of extra time to process their food so they don't regurgitate.
And she came from Texas as well, correct?
She did come from Texas as well. She came from around the Austin area. Again, another rehome, somebody that just wanted to either slim down their collection or whatnot, had other things that they had to do. And so we did take her and Leroy from Texas. So we've had her since about September, and she's shed with us twice. Again, she has gone on encounters, though. She is a great snake. I haven't had anybody hold her. Our ball python I've had people hold, and our corn snake I've had people hold. Just because she's so new, probably wouldn't have people hold her quite yet until she's a little bit more acclimated. But she is really cool. I do really like her as part of our collection. She's a lot different than the other snakes that we have. And I'm just always like, I'm kind of a softie for king snakes. Just because I think that's such a cool fact that they are venomous.
No, they're not venomous.
I mean, that they eat venomous.
They're not venomous,
yes. Yes. No, they are not venomous, which I also think is cool that like a non-venomous can eat a venomous.
Yeah.
So that is kind of a cool thing. That's, again, my favorite fact about them. They are carnivores. So in captivity here, she eats thawed out dead mice. And we talked about what they eat in the wild. So that's everything. There's no veggies, no nothing like that. She is straight carnivore, unlike our guinea pigs.
So she's pretty cool. Our hedgehog also can eat venomous animals as well. Mm-hmm. They're also able to do the same thing. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is really cool. And Athena, our hedgehog, is from a different part of the world, which I think is cool, that animals can evolve to do the same thing in different parts of the world. Again, king snakes are from here in the United States, and Athena is from Africa. Those are totally different, not only just different continents, but across seas from each other. So I do think that's also like a pretty cool thing. But yeah, she's doing really well. I know Marissa talked to you guys a little bit about our property that we're going to be moving to starting in February. It was like mid-February that we're going to be moving everybody up there. We do plan on doing like tours. We might start things like our animal encounter, but like in home. Like if you would want to travel, it won't be necessarily like a tour yet. But it would be a cheaper way to be able to meet the animals, because you would come to us versus us having to, you know, pack up all the animals and go to you. Right. We still, of course, will offer a mobile zoo and our pop-up petting zoo. But we do have some really cool plans for the property in the next little bit. So we will definitely keep in touch with you guys about that.
They've already got some stuff going on over there. They're getting some tree work done, getting some new fencing going, some cement laid. They're doing a lot of work over there. I mean, they're obviously moving in over there, so they're also getting that ready. So they're doing some painting. So they will be living on the property, but it will turn into able to come on property and see these animals. And hopefully we'll be able to build some cool enclosures down the line and start incorporating a little bit different animals, not as much hands-on animals, just maybe bigger exhibit animals, but also maybe some cool encounters where you can touch some more exotic animals that you wouldn't typically see like in a home. That is the goal. That's of course going to be later down the line, but that is the goal, and it's becoming more real now that we have that property. And things are starting to go, and Margaret's drawing up stuff. She's got so many plans, and you guys, they're on it. She calls me and talks to me about it, and I'm like, my brain's not quite ready for it, but she's on it, and Tommy's on it, and they've just been really killing it, and I am really, really excited, and they're doing really awesome.
It's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, of course, and it's only going to get harder, but that's okay. Like, this is, you know, what we want to do, and we want to help, you know, teach our community more about, you know, animals and exotic animals, about our ecosystem, conservation efforts. We did want to talk to you guys a little bit today about some conservation. We are around the holidays, and as consumers around the holidays, we like to buy lots of gifts, things like that for our friends and our families, of course. We want to show our love. But we also have to kind of remember to show our love to our planet. Both Marissa and I listen to a podcast from NPR's Consider This, and it is about consuming and the economy and balancing that with the environment and the planet. And, you know, every time you hit that Amazon Buy Now button, you're helping to fuel ships that, you know, are inflicting lots of damage on, for example, they talked about whales. They talked about whales. Not only is it hard for whales to communicate because it's very loud.
Noise, yeah.
The ships make a lot of noise, and they also are very large, and they actually hit whales sometimes, and they'll kill some of the endangered whales. And I think they talked specifically about the fin whale, if I remember right, something like that. Maybe the right whale. Either way, it was an endangered animal off the coast of the United States. And, you know, we have an Amazon wish list. I personally hit that Amazon button all the time. But, you know, this holiday season, while you're looking for unique gifts, maybe we should try something more like Etsy. Or, you know, Tommy and I are buying new furniture, and we bought a new couch, but I need a new bed set. And I was kind of thinking maybe I should buy something reused. Because, you know, what's used to somebody else or old to someone else is new to me. So you just paint it, and, you know, talked about trying to just minimize our spending and our buying. Again, doing more things like trying to be, I'm not a super creative person, but trying to be more creative with my gifts, and resin and crochet, things like that. You know, all that crocheted stuff at Target has to get crocheted by somebody, and it's always probably some poor child in another country. So it's just one of those things that
You know, and
a smart consumer.
And a lot of thought will go into like buying something that may be more expensive than you would typically want to spend, like say on a pair of jeans. They talked about like Levi's doing a lot of work with what we're talking about. Buying something that's more quality. It may be more than you would be like, oh, I don't typically spend this much, but I buy a pair of jeans, I wear them for 6 months, and you know, and the quality starts to wear out, so I gotta go buy another pair. Buy something that's better quality, better made, that is going to last longer. Quality over quantity. Maybe just thinking, you know, that will also help as well. The more you purchase, the more waste that goes into our environment. So maybe just trying to lessen that by finding something that might be a little bit more expensive than you would typically do, but you can possibly fix it up and continue to reuse it down the line. Like she was saying, like reusing, like going to like thrifting, things like that. But if you absolutely have to buy something new, try to do something that's better quality instead of buying something cheap. Right around those lines there. Just keeping that in mind, thinking about that through the holidays. But of course, I know, and that's what they talked a lot about in that is whenever we go through these hardcore crises, like we were going through the pandemic, and you know we're getting the stimulus checks, so we need to stimulate the economy. So it's just trying to find a balance, because if we don't spend, the economy crashes. If we spend, our environment crashes. So it's just finding a fine balance there. Talking about traveling, instead of doing a bunch of little trips, maybe doing a big trip and getting more fulfillment out of that trip, so you don't have to take a bunch of little trips throughout the year or throughout the holiday season or whatever that may be.
Just checking you guys out.
Just keeping that in the back of your mind, maybe just doing the smallest thing, it does help. we're not asking you to not buy gifts and not
go to Amazon.
I mean, we all do it. It's not like we're nowhere near perfect. So just thinking about it, considering it, trying to put that thought into what you do every day and into this Christmas holiday.
And you guys can actually, if you are a podcaster, or if you have 15 minutes and you want to check it out, we do link the podcast on our Twitter. So there is a link, I believe, in the description on Facebook, and I will put one on Instagram as well. And you guys can check out that podcast if you want to listen to it yourselves and learn a little bit more. Just informative. You know, I always feel like knowledge is power, and that's what we like to do for you guys. Not only animal knowledge, but conservation efforts and how you can be a better consumer, how you can help save our planet. So we appreciate you guys. I think we have a crying baby in the other room, so I bet Marissa's getting anxious over here. But thank you so much for watching.
Have a Merry Christmas,
yes.
Hanukkah,
Kwanzaa, Denali, all the things.
All of that. Have a great holiday season, guys, and we hope to see you guys in the new year. We hope to bring all these awesome new animals to see you. Go ahead and call that number, send us an email. We're
the
ready
numbers
for you guys.
in our description as well as all of our social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We have a TikTok page. We did not go live on YouTube this time because we don't have that many subscribers. And once we get a couple more subscribers, then we will also be live on Instagram or on YouTube. So yeah, you guys hopefully have a good holiday, and we will see you guys next year.
Bye, guys.